Hello everybody, Neil here from the Four Corners and welcome to a Ninjago ranking video. I thought it's been a long time since we pretty much ranked anything, so a ranking video was overdue, and when I checked my video ideas list I realized that there was a ranking video on it, so we're gonna go ahead and rank something today since all the season 14 stuff seems to be calm. As of the time of recording, we do not know when all that stuff is gonna blow up. And Legacy 2021 has also calmed to some extent. So the ranking itself will be discussing about all the Ninjago minifigures that I'm glad I have after I watched the show. This means that when I got the set, the show wasn't out and I didn't really realize the value of that character. Maybe that character just looked like a common foot soldier, something like that. But then after I watched the show, I realized that this character was really actually important. This list is not my favorite Ninjago minifigures, but instead these are Ninjago minifigures that I didn't really know the value of, like I said before, until I watched the show. That's why you won't see Ninjago minifigures on this list like Akira or the Pink Zane minifigure. We already knew those characters were relatively important. We already knew Akira was going to have a huge role because she had like the best minifigure parts of season 11. And we already knew the value of Pink Saint, so in that sense, those are just figures I like, instead of figures that I was surprised and lucky to get in that set. In the number 5 spot, we have General Vex, the advisor of the Ice Emperor, and we all know how evil that guy is. And he's here because at first I thought he was just a common foot soldier. He was my favorite foot soldier design out of all of them because I really preferred the silver and the blue to the red and the blue, while the red and the blue was still fantastic. And overall, I did not expect him to have such a huge role. Looking back now, I'm glad I got him in a set because if I didn't get him in that set randomly, then I'm pretty sure I would never have him. Coming on over to the number 4 spot, we have a little surprise entry, and that is Little Nelson. Back then, Skybound took forever to air, and I watched it even more late because I wasn't really good at catching up with Ninjago. So I didn't really know the value of this purple ninja character. I got the Rock Roader set, which came with this character for the RX Cole, and even that I didn't know the value of, and that should be coming up later on this list. I mainly got it for the suspension and the sets, but after I watched Day of the Departed and Season 6 pretty late, I realized that I had some special exclusive characters on my hand, and since then I've grown to appreciate the Purple Ninja and also RX Cole, which we'll talk about later on in this video. In the number 3 spot, just as I promised you, we have RX Cole. I already gave you my reasoning to why he's here. That's because I watched the show pretty late and I didn't know the value of these figures and how exclusive they are. Looking back, this RX Cole minifigure is even more valuable because Cole's RX has seemed to be very important in his character design, and this was his only way to get him. As of the time of recording, we don't really know if he's going to get a future RX print on his arm, maybe in the future, maybe for the 10th anniversary. But so far, nothing, and that is the only way you can get your hands on that. And even that is the black sleeve version. Hopefully we can get a no-sleeved RX arm design pretty soon. Coming over to the higher ranks, which is the number 2 spot, we have Ed and Edna bunched over into one entry. And you might think, well, we knew Ed and Edna were important from the start. But what happened was when I got the Lightning Jet, for some reason I never really paid attention to these figures. But now watching Ninjago even more, I realized that these characters are super important, and hopefully a lot of people didn't miss that because Ed and Edna are fantastic characters and every Ninjago fan deserves to have a copy of these. Last and in the first entry, we have Faith the Dragon Hunter. This one is definitely over General Vex because with General Vex at least we knew he was a general, which gives him a little bit more importance without actually watching the show. But with this one, we didn't know anything. We didn't really know much apart from the fact that this character was called Heavy Metal as a minifigure in the Lego sets, which was a cool character design and all, but for the most part she just looked like a generic design. It was pretty surprising to me when I saw Faith actually being a ninja's allies and being there for most of the season, and she also made an appearance for season 10, which was even more surprising. So Faith as a minifigure or Faith as Heavy Metal is probably my biggest surprise as a minifigure, and that's why it's in the #1 spot. Many of the entries here could be jumbled up and down depending on how much I like them. I had a hard time ranking these because all of these were neat surprises, and so I do say I'm ranking these, but they are in no particular order. These are simply the top 5 biggest surprises that I ever had. That does wrap up this ranking video. Tell me in the comment section below if you ever got a minifigure from a Lego set that you realized was actually important, and after that you were quite surprised. I'd love to hear how other people's experiences went, because this list was my minifigures, so a lot of other people have different minifigures, and that means different experiences. Thank you for watching this awesome ranking video, and as usual, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.